Thank you, Prime Minister Kishida. You're doing exactly what Abe is doing, which is you're trying to shame Japanese corporations to pay higher wages. But actually, much more interesting is the fact that the scarcity of labor, the war for talent, is now changing the way leading companies are compensating their employees. You may have seen 2 weeks ago, Hitachi Corporation, which is not a little thing. I mean, that's the bastion of Japan. Hitachi Corporation is changing, to skills-based compensation, doing away with seniority-based compensation. And I think that this will improve the liquidity as well as the confidence in the Japanese labor market, and is a big change in terms of the way human capital is actually being deployed here.
So I think our view is US market is incredibly expensive, although it's got some very exciting high-tech companies with decent track records in terms of growth. It is priced for perfection. We saw last week that one big TV streaming company, which I won't name, it missed its earnings and the share price dropped by 25%. We do not have that in Asia. Companies in Asia on the whole are very conservative. If you take the big geographies in terms of market value, it's China, it's Korea, it's Taiwan, it's Japan. Half of the listed companies out there are sitting with cash on the balance sheets. Now that's for a number of reasons. One is we had the Asia financial crisis back in 1997. Company managements are very conservative. And going back to some of the Confucian value sets, companies here in this part of the world are not leveraged to the same extent as those in the US. So for that reason, we think that Asia is in good shape.
Yes, Prime Minister Kishida had to create a new slogan. After all, his predecessor, Mr. Abe, wow, I mean, Abe is in power, and after 1 month, they coined the term Abenomics. So Kishida has to break with that and comes up with this new capitalism. This is not about redistribution. This is very importantly still a not formulated policy, but the committee that Kishida has appointed to actually create the hubs and the spokes and the policies behind the new capitalism leaves me very, very optimistic. Half of the committee is females, unheard of in Japan. And more importantly, the age of the committee is very young, and you don't have representatives from the Keidanren established dinosaur companies, but you actually have new entrepreneurs who've built successful companies who are now energizing the overall debate there. So I do expect that when the reports will come out by the summer, I do expect that, yes, we are going to see an added deregulation drive and pro-growth initiatives.